Hey, welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook and my desk where the creativity happens. I'm going to be going over the tutorial for these cute Cottagecore headbands. These specifically, these two were part of the Cottage Mushroom collection, but they honestly are just like a staple of Cottagecore. I think they go with any of my collections, so just kind of depending on what colors you use. And to kind of prove that, I'm going to be using a different color for this tutorial. I'm going to be using the Yarn Bee Bambootiful Sage, and it is a 3-weight yarn. I believe this was a 2-weight yarn, and I also used, I think, a 2.75mm hook. I'm going to size up for the sake of this demonstration, and we're going to use a 3.5. So depending on just how delicate and tight you want your stitches, or if you want them a little more chunky, a little bigger, you can adjust that. So yeah, and I do recommend that you either use cotton or bamboo yarn because they are more breathable, lighter, great for summer, and easy to wash. So I do recommend that, and let's just get into it. Alright, taking our yarn and our hook. For beginners or for anyone like me who just doesn't use the magic circle method, you are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you use the magic circle method, or is it circle? I think it's circle. You would do that and then chain 3. And then either working into a circle, or in our case, like I'm going to show you, the first chain we made, we are going to double crochet 2. 1, 2. Whoops. Like that. Untighten it a little here. Then you are going to chain 2. And then into that same chain that we just worked into, you're going to chain double crochet 2 again into that same chain. There you go. Chain 1, and then 1 more double crochet into that chain that we just worked into, like that. And so what you see that develops is a little mini triangle, and that triangle is going to keep growing and growing. So now chain 4 and turn the work so we can work this way. Into that chain space that we made, you can see there's an open space. We are going to work 2 double crochets into that. 1, 2. And we're considering the chain 4 as a double crochet plus a chain. And that'll become relevant once we get to the other side. You'll chain 1. And then once you reach, and in this case we immediately reach it, but later there'll be a little ways to go. Once you reach the middle chain, which is the chain 2, you're going to double crochet 2 into that chain, chain 2, and double crochet 2 into that same chain. And so this is keeping that triangle point that we want to always have there. And then you'll chain 1, you'll skip the double crochets, and into that chain space you're going to double crochet twice, chain 1, and double crochet once more, either into that space or into that chain to make it as if it were a stitch. So there we see our triangle is growing, and then this is going to be basically to repeat throughout the full body of your triangle. You're going to chain 4, turn your work into that first chain space, double crochet 2, chain 1, and into the next chain space we see here that just has a 1 chain, you're going to double crochet 2 and chain 1. And you would keep doing that. If this was you know, as you go several rows, there are going to be more spaces to get to until you reach the 2 chain point. And the 2 chain point is always going to have 2 double crochets in it, then 2 chains to recreate that chain, and 2 double crochets into that same chain. And then you would repeat back down the other side. We do chain 1, and into the next chain we're going to double crochet 2, like so, chain 1, and into the next chain double crochet 2, and since this is the last one, we're going to chain 1 and double crochet 1 more. So there it goes. I'll do it one more time with you, and then you're going to repeat this row until it reaches the size you want it. So if it's for a younger child or for an adult, you can just make it made to measure however long you want it. And usually a good rule of thumb is once the sides reach your ears, that's usually a good point, but you can go further if you want. So let's double crochet 2 into the first chain after we've chained our 4. I'm sorry, got ahead of myself there. Chain 1, double crochet 2 into the next chain and chain 1, double crochet 2 into the next chain and chain 1, and now we've reached our corner chain, so we're going to double crochet 2 into that chain, chain 2, double crochet 2 into that chain and chain 1. So there's our corner, and then we go along the side into the next chain. We're going double crochet 2, chain 1, whoops, double crochet 2 into the next chain and chain 1. Whoop, my yarn got tangled. Sorry about that. Into the last one, we're double crocheting 2, chain 1, and double crochet once more. That's creating that border right here. So when you turn it, you keep seeing that it's going to keep growing, growing, growing. So repeat that until you have the size you want. Alright, I worked up my triangle for, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 rows total. This is touching a little bit behind my ears at this point, so I'm pretty happy with that. And if you notice, it will slightly create this divot. You can kind of stretch it to make it more straight. That is fine. I find that kind of helps with the curvature around your head. That is perfectly fine. And optionally, you can run a single crochet along this border. Did I? Oh, yes, I do. So we will do that. So we will, yes. Let's do that now, I believe. So we're going to work. And let me double check something real quick. I'm sorry, I totally forgot this part. Okay, yes. So what you're going to do here once you finish your count, you chain 1, and we're going to turn to work, so we're working alongside the top edge, and we are going to single crochet into basically the chain and double crochet spaces, and I recommend about 3 in the first one, and then the following about 2 each. 1, 2, 1, 2, and you can keep them semi-loose. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to double check that it's still stretching and isn't tightening anything too much, so that seems good. You can optionally do either 3s or alternate 3 and 2, whatever is working for your hook size that you chose. And the yarn type you have, it might differ a bit. So I'm just working along, and I'll meet you at the end. Alright, you see we've done our single crochet edge to make it more tidy here. And what you're going to do is we're now going to work off of it for our ties. So you're simply going to do a chain for however long you want. Alternatively, if you prefer, you can do an I-cord. But a chain works perfectly fine and is beginner friendly. So I'll probably, personally, since I've already made some, I'll use them as guides for what worked before. After I get a length where I feel like it's about ready. Okay, that's looking good. Okay, we'll go longer. no particular rule to this. Base it on however you think long your ties should be. And then you can either count your chains to match your other one, or just roughly when you line them up, see if they fit. Not if they fit, if they are about the same length. Because maybe you'll chain a little tighter on the other one. Either way. So there's our first tie. And you're simply going to go at the other edge. You're going to join your yarn. Oh, it's a little tight. Let me try that again. There we go. And then you're just going to chain that other one, and then we can either work this in the next step, or you can weave it in along your single crochet edge. Okay, so when I fold and line up my two sides, see how they're coming across? This looks good, so I'm just going to cut that, pull that through, and now we have our ties. Now this is cute by itself. If you want it very simple, you can add a little, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to add another single crochet edge, and you can leave it at that, and then also we are going to do a little scallop edge. So you have some variations you can play with here, depending on what look you would like. But to go with the tutorial, we're going to add a different contrasting edge. So you see with the examples from before, I played with some different color variations. This one has a green and white, this one has green and red. So for this one, I think I'm going to use this ivory cream color. And I'm going to join into the single crochet, same as that the chain goes off of. So I'm going to insert, join it there, and then chain one. I like to cinch my tail when I do that. Actually, I'm going to do it on this side because I want to work over this tail. So same thing, I'm going to insert into that single crochet at the very edge, chain one, and then I'm going to single crochet into the side of that single crochet. And then from here, similarly like we did before, you're going to single crochet about two into the chain space. And then what I do, you can and then you'll just single crochet into each of the two stitches. So your two double crochets here, then two single crochets into the chain space, and single crochet two into what's it called? Double crochets. Does that look right? Alright, and just a note, when you are reaching your corner tip, I work my last two into the double crochets, and into the corner you're going to single crochet one, chain one, single crochet one into that chain, and then you'll continue as usual, two into the double crochets, two into the chains, and then just work that all the way down. And now, unless you like that look, if you like that simple look, we are going to go back on one that your final yarn over pull through. I'm going to undo that just for show. Usually I would never do it and just color change it normally, but we're going to do a color change to our second trim color. In this case, I'm using this cognac brown color. I think nice and fall looking. And I'm going to use that to do the yarn over pull through, and then I'll chain one to make sure it's cinched. Then I'll give things a little tuck, make sure they're good, and then we'll turn our work. And at this point, I will cut a tail off for the ivory, set that aside. So we have these two tails we can work over. And what we're going to do here is we are going to skip two, and I'm going to work over these ends. We're going to skip two stitches, and into the next stitch we're going to do a double crochet, and we are let me double check. Yes, we are going to do 5 double crochets total into this stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's 5 double crochets. Then we're going to skip 2, and then slip stitch into the third stitch. And again, I'm just kind of working over these ends to tie them down. Then we skip 2 again, and then we're going to do our shell stitch, which is 5 double crochets into the same stitch. So it's creating this little shell or this little fan effect. And then I'm going to skip 2 and slip stitch into the third stitch. And then you continue. You skip 2, whoops, and do your fan stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 2, slip stitch, and so on. So continue that until we reach the corner. Alright, so now we've come up to the, it's a little hard to see, but here's the chain space of mine. And I have 3 stitches up to it. And that's fine. And if you use different number stitches or it's counting differently, don't worry about just kind of adjusting things by a stitch or so, or you can go back and adjust things. It doesn't matter too much. This is a trim, and trim is pretty forgiving in that regard. So I'm going to slip stitch into that chain. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I'm going to slip stitch into the, I'm skipping 2 as usual and slip stitching into this third stitch. And then into the chain, I'm going to make my other fan stitch. So my 5 double crochets, whoops, all into that chain space, like that. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the directly next one, because I'm going to assume that it's going to mirror these stitches on this side, so I want it to do the same thing. And you can see how beautifully that's working up. So from here, just continue to regular, where you skip 2, do your shell stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's not a good last one. 5, skip 2, slip stitch into the next one, and continue. Alright, I'm at the very end here. I'm going to slip stitch. It's a tight one, so I'm going to slip stitch as best I can into that first stitch here. Oh, I don't think that was a good job. Let me try that again. Or you know what? I'm going to slip stitch kind of a little past it into that green stitch. I think that works fine. Snip. And then this is the last little end that we need to weave in. I will do that a little more thoroughly in my own time. Just going to secure it. But there you can see is our lovely. So here, just to give you a little better look, a little wider look. I'm sorry I'm losing light. It's getting near the evening. But oh, I'm really happy with these colors. I think they're adorable. And so you can wear it either way. It is lovely. It's charming. Very cottagecore. Very cutesy. And very simple to make. You can make it up in, I think, like 20 minutes or so, or if you're a beginner, maybe give yourself half an hour. But it's darling, great for market makes, great for your girlfriend's birthdays and things like that. Oh, make it matching ones for all your friends, or like just coordinating ones. That'd be so fun. But anyway, do let me know if you have any questions. If this was helpful, I always love to hear if you're making my makes. And you can tag me on Once Upon a Stitch Nook on Instagram so I can see your finished product. Thank you for watching.